Hi everyone. Okay, our next tutorial is going to be on drafting film, and this is going to be the subject of our next tutorial. As you can see, he's not huge. I think he's just under 6 by 8 inches. So anyway, we're working on drafting film for this one because when I worked on the Fox, which was rather a large piece, you guys asked me for more information about drafting film, and to be honest, I fell back in love with it. It's one of the first papers I tried when I was starting out. I did my initial snow leopard drawing on drafting film. Now this is the paper that I used originally. This is one of my very first colour pencil drawings. This is on Polydraw, which is drafting film. But it's all I could get hold of here in the UK, and you'll notice, you can see how see-through it is. Let me just I'm going to pop a white sheet of paper behind there, so then you can see it a little bit better. Now one of the good things about drafting film is the fact that you can change the mood of a piece. Remember I put the video up this week of how I choose my colour support. It sort of links into this, that's partly why I posted it. Now I can change the mood of this piece by changing the colour that it sits behind. So I can pop it onto a dark brown, I can pop it over onto an orange, I can pop it over onto something, let's have a look, more yellowy, and I've even got another dark brown here, so I've got all these lined up on my workspace, so you can see just how much you can change the feel of a piece from what colour backing that you have. So let's bring it back to the white. I'll show you here as well. You can see my hand through there. You can see the translucency. This is quite thin. This is about a 0.003 micron. Now, when I first did this, I wasn't really. I think it was my second piece that I did on drafting film. I wasn't really aware that you could draw on the reverse side. So if I want to go back in now, like I did with the Fox, with a bit more experience, and I want to intensify some of these dark areas, really richen up the eyes, I could go in on the reverse side, do the same pencil work on the reverse, flip it back over, and I would increase the intensity and vibrancy. One thing it does give you, as opposed to working on one of the rougher papers like Pastel Matte or something, is beautiful crisp lines instantly. You've got less layers, you can work front and back side, but you need to be really aware that your whites you need to put down first. You can get some white over the top, but it's all about your knife work. So if you've seen the Fox white chest fur video, you'll see that basically I put down some colour, I blend it all with a really soft pencil like a luminance or even a light fast, and drag all of the pigment into each other so that I get all my tonal value and my colours where I need them to the right density, the right value. All the texture then goes in with the slice with the knife. So let me just move this to one side. Now, some people do say, well, can I not use tracing paper? Okay, so here's tracing paper. Yeah, it's got a translucency, but it's also got this horrible ability to just crumple, crease. You can crease drafting film and you need to be really careful handling it, because if you do crease it, you can't get it out. So just treat it with a bit of respect when you're handling, but no, it's nothing like tracing paper. You can get it in other thicknesses. This is, again, 0.03. So you can see my hand through that one. And this is Graphics. And this is the one that I use. This is 0.005. And it is this one's much quite floppy. This one is much stiffer. As far as seeing colour through, they're about the same. Let me just pop my line image behind and see if there's any noticeable difference between the translucency. Not really too much. You can still see quite clearly it's a little bit less translucent on the 0.005 than the 0.003, but that's obviously what we'd expect because this is slightly thicker paper. You can buy the 0.003. I just prefer the feel, the substance, and it feels nice to handle, the slightly thicker. Now it's a polyester film, basically, drafting film. Obviously it was used by draftsmen for many years, wasn't really applied to the world of art until over recent years. It's become more popular, especially with pencil artists. You need to make sure when you're buying it that you buy double matte. Now you can get this in glossy and it looks completely different. This is matte and it's double matte, which means it's matte on both sides, and the fact that it's matte means that your pencil will adhere to it. It gives it some tooth. It won't, it's archival, so it won't tear, you can't tear it, and it won't go yellow over time. It's pretty stable really. I mean, over the years it's been used for things like, well, you know, draftsmen for layering maps. That's a good thing about it, you can use it in layers. We'll talk about that as well. You can use lots of different media on there. Obviously I use colour pencil, and I use pen, and I use graphite on there. You can also use pen and ink, you can use pan pastel. The best thing about it as well is you can rub out on there and it doesn't damage. You can actually rub out and use that as part of your process. So erasing, so it doesn't matter, you can actually erase to add texture or create shapes. So you can use your eraser as one of your tools rather than one of your correction tools, which is really good. The layering ability of it, so say you wanted to do a background, a really soft background, but you're really worried about messing up your actual picture, your live picture you're working on, simply put it on another layer, slot it behind. It really is that versatile. So I love it. It's so, it does take a bit of getting used to. So if you get some, I would recommend, you know, just have a good play with it. But yeah, it's great. So, moving on, with the Fox I created all the white fur, and that meant that I had to have a bright white backing behind it. Now I'm already thinking ahead, and this is what you need to do, because you're going to be putting all the texture in with your slice tool or your ceramic knife or ordinary knife. I want to look at this line and go, okay, so when I start using my knife, what colour am I going to be bringing forwards? There's no white behind here, so I need to decide what colour of this I want to come through. The rest of the colour, I'm going to have to work the reverse side of the pastel map, reverse side of the drafting film, so that I've got a good thick density of the other colours that I'm using. So I've lined up some of these backing sheets, and I'll flip between them as well as I'm working. I will pop a white behind, I'll probably pop a black behind so that I can see my lines, and I will also mainly keep my final backing colour behind as well. So I pulled out this dark brown mount board. There is lots of dark brown in here, so that would work, so that is quite a good option. I've got a maize, a buttercup and a sienna pastel mat that I could slot behind. Now that's not working, it's too orange, so we'll get rid of that one. We've then got, this is the maize. I like the maize, so that would be aiming to bring out some of those yellowy mid-tones, so I quite like that one. And then we've got the Buttercup. Again, the Buttercup, it's not really showing up very true, the colours here. It's actually quite yellowy. I don't like it. It's too much of a yellow lion. And the last one I've got is this sheet. I'm not even sure what colour this one is. It's a sheet of, I'll check the colour. It's a sheet of Colourfix Smooth that I had. And it's very dark, but it's very reddish brown as well. I actually really like it. So it's between. So what I'm going to probably do is just get going on it, then start to flick these sheets behind as I start to texturise, and it's at that point that I will make the final decision of what the backing sheet is going to be. But at least I've got it in mind now that, you know, it's going to be one of these three. There we go, it's lining that way. So there you can see we've got the lovely darkish reddish brown, which is my favourite one. We've got the brown, or we've got the mid-tone. So those are just some of the things that you need to take into consideration early on. And what you can do next is literally you can just come in straight away if you want and just start to mark in your lines. I'm actually going to create a line drawing, and I'm going to pop the line drawing under every now and again. If I need to pop the photo under, if you're starting out, pop the photo under if it helps you just to check where some of your details are. But remember, it doesn't need to be exact to the reference photo. Your reference photo is always just a guide for you to refer to. So I'm going to get a line drawing put together now, and then I'm going to put that underneath my drafting film, and then we're just going to get going, adding in our texture. And one thing I am going to do as well, I'm just going to use some tape to map off my outside. Actually no, what I'll do is I'll just draw, I'm going to draw that outside edge in, just the corners probably, and then dot the lines, just so I know I'm working up to an area. I don't want to be dragging pigment off the area if I'm not actually going to be including that once the mountain frame goes on. So that's a little introduction to the drafting film and why I'm using it. And again, we're working small, so it gives everyone a really good chance of getting this piece done quite quickly. If you just want to have a go at doing a little bit of the texture fur first, fantastic. But when we come to adding the pencil, like I say, we just need to think about what we're putting down where, but we can correct ourselves rather a lot and as many times as we like using our eraser and our knife, which is a complete difference from when we work with textured papers. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this part, and I'll be back starting with a line drawing and putting our pencil work down. Okay, thank you.